Hey guys, so I'm gonna try to pick up this video where we left off. I don't think I mentioned, but we actually took a week off, went on a little vacation, and just closed the shop here for a week, which is pretty rare. But if my brother and myself are both going out of town, which we went on a little family vacation with the whole family, so we were both gone, and it's hard to keep operating with both of us gone. So we just decided to shut everything down and get back after it this week. And it's the last week of July. I think today's July 27th. But I'm gonna get back after it. I just wanted to show you guys, I got the weigh ticket from my log supplier on this last load of logs that I was running as we were heading out of town. I didn't quite get them finished up. I've got one more live deck plus just 2 more logs laying there, and then plus a little bit of hickory that I've set aside. So I'm gonna kind of bring you all along, show you guys what we've got left out there, and then I also wanted to show you guys the weigh ticket off of this load, and that way you can kind of visualize how much we get out of a tractor trailer and how much that weighs. And then, you know, also I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know what we buy the logs for from this particular supplier. We've got kind of different deals with a few different suppliers as far as what we pay for the logs. Really, it's kind of based on the quality of the product as well, the quality of the logs. This guy brings some pretty good stuff and sorts it out for us and offloads it with our knuckle boom when he brings them and that kind of thing. So I'll show you kind of what we're working with right now, what we've got sitting on the ground. And I have not moved any of this pile, and that was intentional. I wanted to kind of be able to visualize for myself as well as for you guys what we get out of a tractor trailer. And I'm going to come over here and do this again once the tractor trailer is complete. But I wanted to just walk you around what it's looking like right now, you know, before we run that last live deck and then those other couple logs. And then all I've got hickory wise is about a live deck. I think I've got 7 or 8 hickory logs. So I don't mix the hickory with the oak, so you're not going to be able to see every single log. I kind of do want to do this. I want to do this one day, and I think this would be a really cool video, and beneficial for myself as well as you guys. But I don't have enough, kind of rambling here, but I want to do this again in a different, you know, with a different load. And I do get a lot of loads that are strictly oak, all oak. And so I would love to do this with an all oak load, have this slab completely bare, have the trailer completely emptied out, you know. And usually one trailer load of resplits is plenty for a tractor trailer. I mean, depending on the diameter of the logs, but typically that's about all we'll get. It's about one trailer load or a little bit less per tractor trailer. So, and then I would love to, what I want to do is then crate it all into IBCs, and then as well as the resplits, put that into IBCs and see how many IBCs we get out of a tractor trailer. And then we'll be able to kind of quantify, you know, per ton what we're getting, and have a real good idea then of, you know, not that we sell it in these IBCs, and we do a little bit, but we kind of know how many IBCs it takes to make a true cord of wood, and you know, when we're just loose filling them the way that we fill them. And so that would be an interesting video, and I hope to do that before too much longer. But I'm gonna need more empty baskets. I've got a couple over there, and then there might be, I don't know, there might be 35 or something sitting right there. I don't know how many we would get out of a tractor trailer, but it'd be significantly more than that. We really just need to get another tractor trailer load, but I've been waiting on that for a while. And they'll let me know when that's ready. And anyways, I just want to show you guys where we're at. I know I took you through this at the end of the last video, but I went ahead and reloaded the live deck with the logs that I had sitting right here. Then I've just got those 2 more oaks right there off of that tractor trailer load. That is the remaining oak that we have, and then I've got just these few hickories right here, and I'll show you these, but I won't be running these today because, like I said, I got to clear that pile out of the way, get a new dump trailer under the resplits. And but it's just, I think we got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So yeah, I mean, not even quite a full live deck there. The dump trailer will end up being pretty full with resplits, and I did go ahead and empty the the trash bin that's under the disc cleaner. Take that into consideration as far as the weight, you know, per ton that you get actual usable sellable firewood. You got to take the trash into consideration as well. You know, I'd love to weigh that and see how much that weighs one day, but I never have done it. So yeah, this trailer will end up being, you know, almost full, not quite full. It's tilted up right now. I was letting some of the, we got some rain in here over the break, and it's just been sitting in the trailer, so I'll get that lowered down. I want to show you guys this weigh ticket, and hopefully you guys can see this well enough. So we got 32.52 tons on that load there. That's the, you know, the math's already done. I mean, if you wanted to actually do the math on that, you could. And you know, we'll see what we, you know, at least we'll have a visual of how much that is. I'm not going to crate this load up. This load right here is going to actually just be moved over to customer pickup. I'm still just working on, I just want to fill that area up and finish that before we start filling any more IBCs. And like I said, I'd like to get some more IBC totes before we start filling any anyway, so that I can, you know, maybe quantify one tractor trailer load. Got to kind of get a little bit, you know, a little bit lucky to have all that work out though for me, because sometimes they'll bring a few tractor trailer loads, and then, you know, then I don't know exactly how much just one of them is, but we'll get that to happen eventually. Let's see how many crates I've got right here. Yeah, we got 32, 34, and I know I've got 2 more over there, so I guess I've got 36 available right now. I'll be emptying some more to be racked out for deliveries later this week. We've got quite a bit of deliveries scheduled because we ended up not doing deliveries last week at all while we were out of town, so got a good delivery day that coming up on Friday this week. One thing I forgot to mention, I just realized that, was, you know, this load here that's 32.52 tons, this particular supplier, we pay him $43 per ton, so came to $13.98 is what we ended up paying him for that load. It should yield, I never have done the math, I'll do it right here, we'll just say 2.5 tons per cord. So 32.52 divided by 2.5, so we're at just over 13 cords is how that maths out. And I think that should be, you know, fairly accurate, which is, you know, a decent bit of wood out of a tractor trailer. And you know, myself, I can do that myself in a day's time pretty easily, if I don't have too many other interruptions. Of course, around here there's just no telling what I'm going to end up having to be pulled off and doing, but you know, it's definitely pretty doable. I mean, that doesn't include doing the resplits. Of course, I have someone else that'll do the resplits, but a trailer load of resplits will take a guy, you know, not even quite a half a day to do. You know, you can definitely produce wood faster. It just depends on, you know, what your expectations of a finished product is. So that's really what it comes down to. If you wanted to just pump this stuff straight off of a conveyor into a truck and not worry about cleaning it or sorting it or doing any resplits, you can certainly do it a lot quicker. But we're trying to make a good quality finished product for people down here in the South that, you know, that we don't have boiler wood or anything like that, which it's all a, you know, finished size that's, you know, easy to grab with one hand and stacks up nice and is a clean product. And you know, we definitely charge a premium for it. So making that kind of wood and that time frame with our equipment, we feel like we do pretty well at it. So anyways, I'll get out there, start running here in just a minute, and get that a little bit finished up today. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get everything fired up. It's been a little over a week, so hopefully this stuff will get going for me pretty good. This one's the one that sometimes gets some water in the fuel, it seems like anyway. So this is the one that I struggle with sometimes, but I had it under shelter while we were out of town, so hopefully that helps. All right, guys, well, that's the last of it. And you know, just to give you guys an idea as well, you know, this, I did just move this processor out here right before this live deck, so you know, this is the amount of debris that we got under here before this tractor trailer load. So this is the amount of debris that we got, you know, just bark wise, you know, from that one tractor trailer load. And then, you know, because all this whole slab was fully cleaned off before I moved it out here. This was right after I did a little bit of maintenance and repair work on the processor, was when I started doing this tractor trailer. So this is the amount of sawdust right here that we get. And I mean, I know it's probably hard to tell perspective wise on camera, but this is definitely a couple yards of sawdust for sure. Got a little bit of debris, you know, built up in this area, but not bad at all. This stuff will just scrape right out if you keep up with it regularly. I mean, I don't know if you guys have followed along and seen some of the previous videos of how bad this area was before I moved the processor. But it's not that hard, you know, if you were to scrape this away and then just get a rake and just rake that out. You know, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what goes into processing with a processor like this. I mean, that's something that you can do that, or you can opt to not do that and just pull it out every now and then and clean that out with the machine. You know, because once you pull it out, most of that'll fall down. You've got to do a little bit of handwork to get the rest of it to fall out, but you know, it's not too terrible. So, but I did empty this hopper one time with debris and then just ran that live deck plus whatever was there and created that much debris. But so, you know, you get, I think it honestly would have fit in this hopper. It would have been mounted up real high because I would have had to knock the top of it off, and then this amount would have probably fit back in there again. So it would be a good heaped up hopper to do that entire tractor trailer load. That amount of resplits, and you know, the diameter of the log definitely plays a big factor in how many resplits you end up getting out of a load. But you know, that was probably honestly a pretty decent size load as far as the size of the logs, the diameter of the logs, because we've definitely gotten more than this out of some tractor trailer loads. But like I say, it's just that plays the biggest factor, the diameter of the wood that we get. So let's look at finished wood, and we've got a good sized pile of finished wood for sure. It's probably hard to tell, but you know, that Mafia block there, these are 2.5 feet tall, so that's 7.5 feet there. So you've probably got, you know, you put another block on there, it'd at least be a little bit higher than that, so that'd be 10 feet. You probably got 11 or 12 feet to the top of the peak of the pile there. And you know, it's a good size pile. And you can kind of just put me in perspective here. So pretty good amount of wood. And like I say, if I was to do this by myself, just running non-stop, I think I put in maybe 4 hours the other day, and today it probably didn't take me more than not even an hour to finish up what I had left there. Yeah, definitely not even an hour. So I think probably 5 hours for a tractor trailer, one operator loading his own live deck, you know, running all this equipment. An experienced operator. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can't get out there in your first time and expect that kind of result. But after you've run for a good bit, you get the hang of things, and you know, you've got to be familiar with whatever you're loading your logs with as well, and have them, you know, proximity to your processor needs to be, you know, fairly close by in order to be as efficient as you can, and then get a good quality log. I mean, not that all those were that great. I mean, if you guys were watching some of the footage, you're able to get a good idea of some of those logs that were put on there. That last log in particular was kind of a squirrely one, you know, definitely not straight. It was big diameter as well. So you know, that's just what we get. We get a variety of logs. Some of them are perfect, some of them aren't. So, but that's firewood. So we got, this is a 330 gallon tote here, but this one's, you know, a little less than half full, and this is what we call stove wood. So we do end up making a product out of that. So that's just all of our end cuts that we got. So we got that plus a full basket, a full 275 gallon basket off of this tractor trailer as well. And then again, you know, we've got that little bit of hickory over there. We got a few end cuts or cuts that I just didn't want to run through the processor that are kind of, you know, would be a tough split, or for whatever reason, you know, this pile, there was no logs here before I ran that, and so just these few right here, you can see how some of them, you know, got a big knot on one side, and I just, you know, this one here, you see something like that I just didn't want to run through, and you know, and then some of them are those short end cuts that I just didn't want to lift into that basket. Don't want the guys to have to lift out of a trailer and try to manhandle and hurt themselves. So that's why that stuff ends up over there. We'll bobcat split that with that inverted splitter into a resplit trailer, and that stuff will get taken care of at the same time. So yeah, just want to show you guys that as well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.